Oh no. The quality of this laptop is not the best. That's why I said, oh no. Let me see if I can send out the link. Hi, I have one viewer so far. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I know that the quality is not the best. Hey guys, let me know in the chat if you can hear and see me, because I'm using a laptop that I normally don't use. As you can tell, the webcam isn't the best. Let me know in the chat. See, I'm wondering if I live streamed. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, perfect. I was considering streaming off of my phone at first. I don't even know if you can do that, but oh, you can. See, would my phone be better quality? It probably would. Thank you for the thumbs up. Let me watch myself. Oh, I have my live stream up on my phone, which is weird because I see it a bit delayed. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. So if you have watched or are caught up with my Instagram stories, you would know that my computer is broken, which is so annoying. Well, it's kind of getting old now. It's about 6 years old. So I guess it's kind of expected that a laptop breaks eventually, but it just wouldn't turn on. And every time it would stay on for maybe a minute and then it shuts off. So then I took it to Best Buy where I got it, and they shipped it off to hopefully get fixed. If it costs too much to get fixed, I'm just going to get a new one. I guess I'll just compare the prices and see. Yeah, I know. But I guess that's the thing with technology. You always have to replace it. Well, eventually, not always. If you're always having to replace it, that's probably bad. I think my cat is at my door. 1 second. Come on in, Callie. Or maybe not. Okay, I just got back from work. Yeah, today was a good day, but my job, I work in a daycare. It's always pretty busy. So I'd say most days there's at least a few times when it's pretty stressful, but that's probably with every job. I just have my tea with me. I'm drinking a green tea. And I did originally say that in this live stream, I wanted to do a speech update, just talk about my stutter and all that stuff, which I will do. I just want to wait until we get more viewers. I think I might post that I'm currently live. I'll post it on my Facebook. And I feel like I never actually log into Facebook or Instagram or anything. It's always on my phone where it's already logged in. So whenever I have to log in, I'm like, wait, what's my email? See, is that the right email? I have two Facebook accounts, one that's public, one that's private. So hopefully this is the correct one. Might just have to post it from my phone. Okay, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat and I will get around to answering those. Do you guys celebrate Christmas? If so, are you excited, and what for? I know somebody said long time no video. Um, that is because my computer broke. But I have also been, I mentioned this on Instagram, I think, as well, maybe in a video, but I have been kind of, I haven't been going off of a schedule for uploading, which I think has actually ended up being a lot better for myself and for the videos. I just want to be able to think about them deeper and do them when I have the time and really want to. I feel like when I do that, the videos end up better and you can tell that I'm more into the video. So that's two of the reasons why I haven't uploaded in a few weeks. And that is also why I decided to do a live stream. I have been wanting to do a live stream anyways soon, so I thought that this was the perfect time. Excited to get new books. Nice. Somebody asked, how am I? Currently, I'm pretty good. I'm in a good mood. I feel like all day I've been pretty in a decently good mood. There was a moment that made me in a bad mood, but I'm trying to like keep that down and not let that bust my good mood. Yeah, this morning before I left for work, this week I've been doing the early shift. So that's at 6 a.m. So at 5 a.m., I decided to do a bit of a workout. It wasn't a full-on workout, but I just did some movement to start the day. And I found that that actually made me in such a good mood. So I might do that again tomorrow. It's so strange how working out and just moving your body can make you feel. I recently haven't been going to the gym as much. One, because of COVID and stuff, and two, just because I've been preferring working out at home. I don't know, but yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I was trying to post the link to my live stream. Oh my gosh, how do I do that? I have the link on here, but not on my phone. Share. Copy link. Got it. That was easy. Alrighty. 5 thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Somebody is saying, well, WOT professional is saying, my stutter is a nervous one. I only do it when I feel nervous. Have you experienced that before? I would say that my stuttering is primarily when I'm feeling anxious. If you have watched my videos in the past, you might notice that my speech is a lot more clear in the beginning and then it gets worse towards the end. I don't know if you have noticed that, but I definitely do when I'm editing it. And that is because of the nerves and the anxiety and stuff. I'm not sure if that's with everybody's stutter, but mine is dramatically affected by anxiety and nerves. So that's why I a lot of the times practice calming myself down, stress relief techniques, anxiety relief techniques. But it's interesting that your stutter only comes out when you are nervous. I find that mine, like I overall do have a stutter. It just gets worse when I'm anxious or nervous. Somebody asked, how's my stutter recently? I guess as you can tell right now, it's been really good. I will get into that more in a little bit. That's primarily what I wanted to talk about in this live stream. So I'm going to wait until a few more people join who want to join. Let me see. Yeah, keep rolling in the questions if you have any, and I'll get around to that in a moment. I'm just posting this on my socials for anyone who follows those. Okay. Do I know exactly when my stuttering started? That was asked by Beksalton Askerbekov. I definitely pronounced that wrong, but somebody mentioned at 15. That was mentioned by Green Pumpkin. And interestingly enough, that was around the time when mine started as well. I think it was just, well, there was certain things that I think triggered it, and that goes deep into like my psychology and all that stuff. But basically my anxiety started to get worse, and I was a lot more self-aware, and I was more aware of like self-esteem and self-consciousness and all that stuff. And I think all of those combined together with like moving into high school, getting a job, and turning into an adult, I think that all of that put together really triggered the stuttering. I'm curious to know if any of you, when your stuttering started as well. What are you working currently, and am I happy with my job? I currently work at a daycare. So I went to school to be an early childhood educator. So basically, I can just work with young kids. And I like it a lot. It's exactly what I want in a job. When I was thinking of what I wanted to do for my career, one, I didn't want to sit at a desk. I wanted it to be an active job where I walked around a lot. The first thing I thought of doing was teaching, but um, my nerves and my anxiety about the stuttering kind of pulled me away from doing that. So the next best thing was an ECE, which in all honesty, I think doing this career path is the right one for me. I don't know how I would have ended up with teaching, if I would have liked it or not, but I think that a lot of my values line up with those of being an ECE and working at a daycare. So I do like it a lot. Although it's definitely a challenging job. You have to have a lot of patience and like kids. I feel like those are the two biggest things. If you don't have a lot of patience and don't like kids, then this is the complete opposite job for you. Have you been going to speech therapy? If so, how has that changed during the pandemic? Has it been helping recently? Okay. That was asked by John Ayala. Yeah, so I have gone to two different speech therapists. My most recent one, I had a good experience. Like she had techniques that I thought were very effective, and I've talked a lot about this on my channel. And they were pretty much effective, but I found that when I got really stressed out, then that's when the techniques became a lot tougher to do. So I decided to go to a therapist to be able to handle the stress and the anxiety. Because I feel like once I can manage the stress and the anxiety, then the techniques become a lot easier to do. So yeah, I had a good experience with speech therapy the most recent time. I haven't been going recently. I feel like my speech comes in waves where it's very good and comes in waves where it's very bad. I think I just got out of a wave where it was really bad, and I considered going back to my speech therapist. But then after a while, my speech started getting better again. So I don't feel the need to go back anymore. But I'm glad that I always have that that oh my gosh, that the option to go there. I feel like after talking for a while, I just kind of forget what is going on in my brain, and I lose the train of thought. Okay. What was I? Oh yeah, I was gonna post on Instagram next, which posting on Instagram is kind of annoying because um, you can't post a link. I mean, I could in my story if I had a certain amount of followers, but I don't have that threshold yet. One day. There we go. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, I might as well put my handle out now. My handle is at Taya Page _. So TEA Page _. And that's on Twitter as well, but I don't post on Twitter that often. Oh. Okay, anyways. Okay. Let's go through these questions. My camera quality may be bad, but I still look good. Thanks. I know the camera quality is very bad. I'm going off of a laptop that is my brother's, and it was cheap. Well, not cheap. It just wasn't up to the standards that I normally do. All right, somebody brought up the theory that we aren't born with a stutter. It's developed due to various reasons in our early development years. Yeah, that is one of the reasons why stuttering can develop. There are, I think, 4 different reasons why a stutter can develop. That is one of them. I think there is a few. Somebody said that they developed it. Oh, Abigail developed it at 7 years old. Somebody else, Wild Leaf, said that they developed it at 7. Deborah says very young. Abigail, okay, Abigail is 13 now and still has one. Yeah, okay. And you mentioned that you didn't like the speech therapist. And honestly, when I've been to a regular therapist, I've been to a few, and I feel like all therapists are the same, where you can kind of shop around and find which one is best suited for you. This most recent therapist who I'm going to on a regular basis says that it's okay to shop around and to learn about your therapist before committing to them. I feel like even if you didn't like the first one, there's 1,000 more that you could definitely find one that matches you and what you need as a person with a stutter. Okay, I would like to talk about my updates with my speech, because I feel like we're getting up there with the viewers. So I just didn't want to begin talking about my stuttering update, and a lot of people miss that. But I think I'm going to post this anyways afterwards. My back is hurting from sitting or hunching down for so long. Okay, so as you can tell, my speech has been pretty good. I've definitely still been stuttering, as you can tell, but for me, it's a huge mindset thing. I recently switched positions at work, and I found that switch was a major turning point for me, in my mindset as well as the stutter. And one second. And I found that this new position has made me feel a lot more comfortable and confident in myself, which has then made me less insecure about the stuttering. And I've overall just told myself, like, if people really care that much about you stumbling over your words, then I think that that's more their problem than yours. Like, your speech does not affect their life in any way, so they shouldn't care about it, and they should be able to wait a couple of seconds for you to get it out. And yeah, I found that when I started really practicing that mindset, that's when it started to become easier and easier to talk, which is so strange how your mindset is, so how your stutter is so affected by the mindset. And yeah, I've also found, I don't know if any of you have found the same thing, but I've seen a few people online talking about how wearing a mask can affect your stutter. Now, I think some people have had a negative experience, but I've had a positive one. The one thing I'm always self-conscious about, and I've always been this way, even if it's just at the back of my mind, I'm always afraid of somebody judging me because maybe my mouth looks weird when I'm stuck in a stutter, which I feel like we can all relate to. But I feel like the mask, like, makes me less insecure about that piece. So it makes me feel more comfortable to talk, because even if I'm stuck in a stutter, they're not seeing me be stuck in a stutter. So I don't know. Of course, once again, as I just said, if people really care that much, then it's their issue, not yours. But it's always in the back of my mind. So I've found that wearing a mask has helped with the stuttering. But then, and even when I take the mask off, my stuttering has improved as well, because I'm just in the mindset of not being as insecure. Martinez, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, said that she or he did a speech in front of 20 people, and they were very worried beforehand, but then afterwards it felt awesome and they were glad they did it. That is awesome. I find that whenever I'm scared to do something, even if it's the smallest thing, like placing an order at a drive-through, and then I do it, I'm so happy afterwards, even if I stuttered and stumbled. Jose says that his mask is helping him as well, which is awesome that I'm not the only one. John says the same thing. Abigail says it makes it worse because she has to repeat herself all the time, which yes, that is a tough part about it, because I find that the mask makes it even tougher for people to hear you. But I just make sure to talk louder. And I'm in a classroom, so I feel like I'm normally talking loud anyways. So yeah, it's annoying in that way. Tyler asks how my 2020 has been. I really emphasize that. Mine has been, I don't know, I feel like it's just been weird. I feel like it's been a roller coaster of mental health in a mental health way. Um, I felt like lockdown. I had in my area of Canada, we had a lockdown from March till July. And I found that my social anxiety went way up during the lockdown, which makes sense. And I feel like the progress I've made from July till now is crazy. Which, like, before, during the lockdown and at the end of lockdown, my anxiety would get so bad even when I went to the store, and I had to really push myself to ask a question to someone or order something in a drive-through. That was a huge task in the summer, but it's crazy, like, the progress that I've made since then. So yeah, it has been a roller coaster of in different ways. Um, Drive-throughs is my speech therapy. Nice. That is a good one. I feel like I can definitely use my speech techniques to their fullest extent in a drive-through. That really tests it. Green Pumpkin says that they struggle a lot with one-to-one conversations than compared to like doing a presentation. I feel like I might, like, when I read that, I have a theory why that happens. I feel like one-to-one conversations, you can really, let's say, I don't know, I feel like you can sense their emotions more. So let's say they judged you for something, then you can read it on their face more because it's more personal. And if you are having a one-to-one conversation with someone, I feel like you're really focused on their opinion in the moment. Whereas if you're giving a presentation to 30 plus people, you can't focus on all of their emotions and all their reactions all at once. And you almost just think you're talking to no one because you're not getting a response back. You're just giving a presentation. So it's less personal and you care less. But I guess it would be different with everyone, because like with me, I would stutter so much in front of 30 people, but also in one-on-one conversations as well. So mine's both. Okay. Wild Leaf is saying that they struggle with adapting speech techniques in their everyday life, but they can do it when they're alone. My last speech therapist was really good with that. Like, she understood that it's a transition to adapt the speech therapy techniques when you're alone to in real life situations. Like, so I had different goals to tick off. So once I mastered them alone, then the next step was to have a 5-minute conversation with somebody I'm close to, like a family member, and use the speech techniques. Then task 2 is to talk for 10 minutes in front of these people who I'm close to. Step 3 is talk to a friend. Step 4 is talk to somebody at a store. Step 5 is a stranger. So there was all these steps, and she knew that it was a process. And I feel like that is something that needs to be more talked about. And I feel like speech therapists need to talk about that more and make that a part of the therapy, like going into real life, not just being alone. Okay, let me drink my tea or it's going to get cold. Somebody says, why did you ignore my comments? I am going through these very quickly, trying to skim them. I believe you asked about seeing your video. You will have to send me a message with the link on Instagram, preferably. That's where I see it most. Do I have any upcoming videos in the works? I did, and then my computer broke. So I was trying to use an editing software on a PC, and I'm really not familiar with PCs. I was having a lot of trouble basically relearning this entire editing software when that would only be used for probably one video, and it was just taking up so much of my time trying to learn it. And I was on YouTube trying to learn it, and then going to the software trying to learn it, and I was just getting really annoyed and frustrated. So I do have a video filmed. It just needs to be edited, and I have a bunch of ideas which might have to be done in the new year now, because I don't know when my computer is going to come in. Oh, yes. I might just do like videos filmed on my phone, then I can edit them quickly on my phone and then upload them. That might be a plan if my computer doesn't come in soon. I know that there is iMovie for your phone, which is what I was editing on, so I'm already familiar with that. Lucas is asking, do I think masks help with stuttering? We just had a conversation about that. I think it does, but some people were saying that they think it doesn't. So I think it's all up to personal experience. I don't think there's one thing that fits everyone. Thank you for watching. There's a couple of you saying bye. Thanks for watching and having a conversation with me. Do I stutter more on proper nouns, like names of people, things I can't change? Yes. I definitely do. I noticed that when I worked in fast food, when I had to say the title or the total of the order, that's something I can't change. So I would always struggle with that. Yes. So like my name, the place I'm from, my workplace, things I can't change, I struggle with. Not as much anymore. I found that I've been able to push through that and been able to get them out. But yes, it's always been a struggle. Tyler asks, what computer did I buy? Well, 6 years ago, I bought a MacBook Pro, and that's what I've had for a while now. And I might have to buy a new one if mine can't get fixed, which they are pretty pricey. So, but I mean, if fixing the computer is going to be just as much as buying a new one, then I'll just buy a new one. I like the mask. Oh yes, Mark is saying that they find that the masks make it harder to breathe and you run out of breath faster and you stutter more. Okay, that was me at the beginning when I first started having to wear a mask, but now I'm fine. I found that it was more in my head that I couldn't breathe as well, but I actually could. I just thought I couldn't. So now, since I wear a mask every day, so now I'm fine, but it took me some getting used to, and I had that exact same problem at the beginning. So I think I'm going to do this for about 45 minutes to an hour. So at least 10 more minutes if you are wondering. Josh says that he finds that talking about specific details usually triggers the blocks most. Casual speech seems to flow much easier. I see what you mean. Yeah. That makes me think of when I'm at work, and I feel like I mostly have small talk conversations at work, but then once it gets into more like things where I'm talking about in more detail, yes, my anxiety goes up, which makes the stuttering worse because in my brain, my brain is thinking, oh no, I have to say more, which makes me anxious. And I find that makes the stuttering worse. Woti Professional is talking about dating and the struggles of having a stutter with that. I think I have a couple of videos on dating with a stutter. I have actually, I guess the most relevant experience I've had with dating with a stutter is when I was on dating apps a year ago. So I was going on dates pretty frequently, I'd say, like maybe twice a month-ish, depending. But that was always very scary. And what I did is I said that I had a stutter before the date so that they knew what to expect. But I said, I have a stutter, but it's not a big deal. I'm still able to carry on a conversation and just ignore it, basically, is what I said. And I didn't have any bad reactions at all. Everybody was super nice about it. And I would say that the only thing that affected was how I felt with that person. It made me realize it more because obviously with mine, my stutter is triggered by stress and anxiety. So if my stutter was worse on that date, then I knew, okay, my anxiety was really high with this person. I wonder why. It could have literally been a small thing, like I was intimidated by their hair or something. But I feel like for the most part, I've had good experiences. Some the stutter was worse and some it was better. But yeah, I feel like it gives a good indication on how you feel stress-wise with the person. Can you tell me more about acceptance and stuttering on purpose? Now, stuttering on purpose has always been a technique I've heard of, but I've never used it before, to be honest with you. I've never done it before, but I've heard it from both of my speech therapists. No, I've heard it from the one. And then I've heard it from a bunch of different places online. But I never did it. I just found it unnatural, but I understand. No, actually, I don't know if I fully understand it. So that one I would have to research more. I'm sorry, I don't have all the details about that. Okay. Are you still going on dates? No, I'm not. I'm seeing someone at the moment. I have been for the past 9 months. Is it now? Oh, okay. Someone was talking about they get nervous with somebody who they find attractive. And I definitely understand that, but I tried to kind of put the attractiveness aside and think that they're a real person with personality, with a brain, and on the inside we're both the exact same. We're both a skeleton. Like, so I tried to kind of make it less intimidating for myself. How to stop blocks, because those are harder than stopping repetitions. Well, actually, I just did basically a technique to stop blocks just then. So I was stuck on the S sound. I believe the technique I've always used, which definitely takes practice, is first of all, let's say I'm stuck in like the sound again. I don't know if that would be classified as a block, but it might. So let's say I'm stuck in then I immediately stop the sound, and you can feel that your throat is tensed up, and that's the vocal cords closing. So you have to take a breath and just release all of the air, because you're literally stopping the air from getting through the vocal cords. So immediately stopping the sound, or if the sound is already stopped, which for me, most of the time in a block, I can't even get a sound out. So I just breathe, take a breath in, and then try to say it again, but with lighter touch. So with less tension, try your absolute best. I know it's super tough, but just like intentionally, like, don't move your mouth um, as hard. Is that the right word? I'm definitely not using all these speech therapy words, but I think that is probably the best technique I have for blocks. And that's the one I've learned since I started going to speech therapy. Do I speak French? Do I stutter more in other languages? I do speak French. In Canada, our second language is French, so I learned it all throughout school. And at my last job, it was in French too. I find that I stutter the same amount in French than I do in English. I know that with everyone it's different, but I feel like um, I feel like it's all in your mindset, for me at least, whether I'm afraid to stutter or not. Um, Yeah, somebody's asking about religion, and I just don't like to talk about that on my channel, just because I want to keep this as open and accepting, and I don't want people to think I only believe this, so I can't accept or believe anything else. So that's why I just don't tend to talk about that on my channel. Um, oh yeah, okay, some WOTI professional is saying that they sometimes speak in a slight accent to make their stuttering lessen, which is actually a thing. It's funny. I talked about it with my speech therapist, and she says the same thing, that that is a thing. I don't know what the science behind it is, but that is a thing. I hope you've been doing well, and I hope work's been going well for you. Thanks. It has been. I switched jobs this year, and this job has been really good. A lot better than my last job, in my opinion. I can usually feel the blocks before they happen, so I prepare to change the way I say the word. Usually just slow down or put an accent to it. That's great. I feel like I sometimes can predict it, but sometimes I can't. But yeah, I feel like if you can predict it, then preparing yourself to use a technique is great. I know I used to get into the habit, sometimes I still do, but not as much, of changing the words, which is an avoidance technique that you should avoid. Avoid the avoidance. So yeah, use the techniques if you have that. What do you do when you know you're going to stutter in an interview or something, especially when it comes to introducing yourself or saying your name? What I have found throughout the years is I used to stutter on my name a lot, and I knew it. Like I'd be like, oh, I have to say my name, I'm going to stutter. But then when I started thinking of maybe I won't stutter, maybe it'll go fine, maybe I won't. Just because I did the last time doesn't mean I will this time. And I think it's that almost PTSD of it happening last time, specifically on your name. You predict that it's going to happen again on your name, and it doesn't have to. It's just all in your mind that you think it will, so then it happens because your anxiety is up. So I feel like lessening the tension around the possibility of stuttering on your name, which should work, but is obviously a lot harder said. I mean, a lot easier said than done. Do I ever fear that my children may stutter? Mark asks. Yes. Yes. I fear that quite often when I think about having kids in the future. But I think that I'm pretty knowledgeable on it, that hopefully I'll be able to catch it early enough that I'll be able to bring them to speech therapy early, and then they'll be able to help them in the most effective way. And I think as well, it would actually be nice, let's say if my child did have a stutter, it might be nice for them to have their mom have a stutter, because then you can relate with someone and you already know you're not the only one, and you can vent to them about your experiences and they can relate. So, and like, I do worry about it, but I feel like it's not the end of the world. Does stuttering run in my family? Not really. I think I have a second uncle who stutters. My sister used to have a stutter, but then it went away. And then there's me. So it doesn't really run in the family. There is a few who do have a stutter, but I don't think that means that it runs in the family. Do you think people really care about our stutter, or it's just us overthinking about it? Ahmed says. I 100% think that we are just overthinking about it. I've been told that by so many people. Like when I'm feeling very insecure about it, just throughout the years, I've had so many people say, like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't pay attention to it as much as you think that I do, which is good. So I definitely think that that is correct. And I think it's important to think in that way as well. Emotional freedom technique. I did it and it helped amazingly well for a short period, but never managed to recapture that improvement. I've never heard of that, but it sounds very interesting. Thanks for bringing that up, David. I took speech therapy very early from preschool. And the stutter is still the same, makes me think it's something you're born with. I think you definitely can be born with it. I think it all depends on the person. And as well, I think it's important if you have the emotional aspect to see a regular therapist, like a psychologist, about that. Because I feel like that can also release so many aspects of the stutter. I think that stuttering is both like emotional and mental. So I think it's important to do both. Is there any device that you can suggest that can help with the stammer? Device? No, I've never tried a device. Well, I've tried the app where it delays your voice for a second, which did help for a little bit, but you get used to it after a while and then it just doesn't work. So I feel like there isn't a device, but I mean, maybe it would work for certain people, but for me, I didn't have any luck with a device of any kind. Oh, Noah said, it's really annoying when you're talking on the phone and they say, sorry, it broke up and I couldn't hear you. I feel like if it's somebody you are comfortable with, you can say, no, I was in a block. Like, just say it how it is, because then they'll know, okay, like, this is just something he or she has, and that's just how it is. I feel like it makes it tougher on you to feel guilty about it. Like if you're saying, oh yeah, it was just the phone, you almost feel guilty, like you can't say what it actually is, which I feel like there shouldn't be an issue with saying, oh yeah, I stuttered. Mark says there's a lot of people who roll their eyes or sigh when I stutter. I can relate to that, but I feel like in the moment, maybe you are perceiving it as them rolling their eyes. I'm not saying that they weren't, but maybe thinking of it as maybe they weren't rolling their eyes. Maybe they weren't sighing at you. Maybe they were just taking a deep breath. Like, it's not your fault. And if they're really affected by the stuttering, then I think that's more their issue. If they're deeply affected by somebody having to repeat a syllable. Griffin asks, will I do a video with Paige White? I am not sure who she is. She's a YouTuber with a stutter. It's pretty cool how she overcomes it. Okay, I will look into that. Okay, when somebody says, I gotta go, you get into a stutter. I think it's probably the pressure of you having to say bye. I mean, sorry, I don't want to be like psychoanalyzing this, but it might be the pressure of you having to say bye, or you feel the the need to speak. Maybe instead of them ending the conversation first, you can try ending the conversation first. That might relieve some of the stress of that. Son or San said that they did a presentation in front of their university class. They could not get their words out. I came home feeling worse, and I still get upset about it when I think about it. I feel the same way. Like, I have had presentations where I stuttered a lot, and I was very embarrassed in the moment. Um, and yes, those are definitely hard to deal with. And I feel like it makes it tougher to go on and want to, like, it makes it tougher to want to speak again and again because you're afraid of that happening again and again. Um, but it's all about your relationship with the memory. A lot of times, like, our thoughts on our stutter are based off of memories of stuttering. So we kind of have to switch our opinion on the memories. Like, can you find anything about the memory that is positive? Like, okay, you might have stuttered a lot in front of the presentation and in front of the class, but you did it. Like, you were so afraid about it, but you were brave and you did it and you overcame that. And you should be very proud of that. And that is just one step closer to you overcoming the stuttering. You need to face these fears in order to get there. Hello from Switzerland. That is awesome. Oh, Josh said that you can call it a glitch instead, and I think that's a cute way of putting it. I sometimes call it a glitch too. Do I ever get difficulty saying good morning to someone? It happens to me all the time. That was asked by Miracle. Good morning. I have never had trouble with that one, but I'd say if you have trouble with good morning, maybe try phrasing it in a different way, one that works for you. Like, hey, how are you? Instead of good morning, or just hey, or hi, or something. That's probably what I would do until you get used to saying good morning and the fear goes away. David says, respect to everyone on here. Be proud of who you are. It has taken me 47 years and you still get emotional about King's speech. Yes, I've seen that movie. I love it. It's so good. Alrighty, so if you have any last questions, I think I'm going to answer those in the last 2 minutes, 1 minute now. So if you have any more, make sure to get that in the chat and I will end the live stream as soon as I speed through the questions, if you have any, that is. I think I'm going to try to post this afterwards because I think we had some important conversations that I think other people would like to see as well. Oh. Thank you, David. Do I like a snowy winter or a warm summer? Definitely the second because I love the heat, but I think the snow is really pretty and I like it a lot, but I much prefer the summer. Alrighty, so I'm going to end my live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like me to do another one soon, make sure to let me know. Send me a message on Instagram or just a comment on the video. So yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye.